All right. So with regard to the issue of practicing, I just want to do an extension. Somebody sent me a message within the last 2 weeks that he has a problem practicing. Like when he learns a song, in his mind he has really learned the thing, but when he gets to where he's supposed to perform it, then it's like his memory has been formatted. Yeah. And, what I told him was that, and everything I'm saying here is not because I think that is the standard, that is the fact. It has worked for me, or that's what I believe in. So I'm not one of those people who champion things and say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, because everybody has something special or unique to them. So what works for Bright might not necessarily work for me. It's a good practice, it's a good thing, but it doesn't work everywhere. There are people who really know how to use their like good fingering technique. They can use it to play everything in this world. But there are other people who have terrible fingering. But Jack, when you hear them, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so there is a structure, there is a formula about them. For some reasons, there are exceptions to rules. So everything I'm saying is not because I heard it from somebody, but there are things that I have tested. So I told this guy that in my time when I was learning, before I even play the song, before I even start putting my hands, okay, for all those who didn't come earlier, I'm a keyboard player, yeah, so. But I'm trying to generalize my submission as possible to benefit everyone. So before I practice, I start learning chord 1, chord 2. I try to play the song to the level where if I stop playing the song, I can sing it from the first chord or from the first phrase, from 0.00 of the song to if it's 5 minutes, 30 seconds of the whole song. Yes. It was a technique my boss taught me. He's in US now. I think it's diverted into a pastor or something. So those of us who don't have the calling yet, a calling that some people will honestly and genuinely run away from. Or those of Bright, I know he has a calling, but he's trying to run away. The Lord will arrest you in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. So before I actually put anything to work, I make sure I can sing the piano. And you see, it's with musicians all over here. If a bass player wants to learn a song, all they hear in the song is a bass. Yes. But you see, there is a connection between all the instruments. There is something about the other guy you need. Yeah, you have to build, like you have to work on all those things. So before I even start checking the key, before I know the key, I try to memorize everything, all the patterns I'm supposed to know in the song, inside, on the memory, before I take. So now, when I get to know, okay, this is so sometimes the good thing, what I actually do is, if I'm able to check the key before I start practicing, what I am hearing, you see, and you need to work on your ear. One of the greatest tools you can ever have as a musician is your ear. You get it? That's one of the greatest tools. So I can stay with Bright over here. I sit there, he's there. We have to talk, but maybe there are like some people over here that we can't talk in their midst. I have to use my ear to know what he's talking about. So when he plays a phrase, Bright, what did you play? You're a musician. You have ear. You understand notes. You know where your root is. You know where your second degree is. You understand all that. So after this, I'll come to understanding certain technical things we use that a lot of people don't know what it is. You understand? For example, we have been saying skill. If I say someone should define a skill right now, I'm not even sure we know. But we have been using them. Yes, so you should develop there's power in the ear. But for me, your ear takes a greater part of your life as a musician. You understand? Yeah. So before I put my hands on it, I check the key. So anything I listen to, I imagine it, how I hear it. You might make certain mistakes, of course. There's a note you might hear it is, let me use the language you understand, me or something. Sometimes the board that will show that, okay, so I was mistaken. But then you can picture them. You understand? So before I do, I start the whole thing. I picture all these things. I sing it in my mind. So when I get to but now, what I told this guy was that when you want to learn a song, you don't learn based on what you know. You learn based on what you hear. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't learn. If you take a song and maybe the intro starts, and the moment the intro started, you are trying to play a chord. You are playing what you know. Am I making sense? Yes. So we need to develop a good attitude in learning. The only reason why you want to learn what that piece is because you don't know what the person played. Because if you knew it, you wouldn't have tried learning. So if you want to learn, listen to what you hear. It's not what you think it is. And it's a big error a lot of musicians have been making, that when you take a song, the moment he knows that on this chord is a 4 chord, he starts experimenting the 4 chords he knows. But you need to build power on the memory that when you hear chords, you should be able to single out notes. You understand that? So when I hear a chord, I am checking out, okay, what are the friendly... And you see, there are certain chords, they have so much tension that you might not be smart enough to know what is going in there. But check the friendly ones. Or better still, if you're a keyboard player and you are trying to learn a song, you need to know where the bass player stands. It will bring you a long way to know where you are going. You understand? But if you want to learn, so there were techniques I was using. 1, I learned the song in my memory. 2, I go through the song and know the registers the bass player actually enters. So when I'm on this chord, like when I get here, I know the bass player played that. So now I have to find a link between where the bass player stayed and what I'm also looking, and the thing I'm looking for. So in the end, I'm not just learning, I'm understanding what is going on in the song. Am I making sense? Yes. So you don't learn because you want to learn. You have to learn to understand. Otherwise, it's worthless. All right. So when I work on the bass, now I come to my chords. I check on the notes I hear. You understand? And that will actually take time because someone's structures they put together played nonsense all over the place, and I want to learn all that. It takes a while, but you know, it's you should have that attitude of patience to learn, because I'm not disregarding anybody, but there are a lot of people you see putting things all over the place. And you check certain things and you realize, what is the foundation of this person? I won't discourage anybody, but you know, there is dignity, there is pride in knowing the foundation and knowing it well. We are all going somewhere, but when your foundation is weak, like Doc said, that when the economy is what, the dollar will expose you. When the economy is what, the dollar will expose you, Dr. Bami, or something. You understand? Good. So I take time to listen to, okay, which notes can I hear in this chord that this guy is playing? I take time, okay. Sometimes, and there are certain softwares that do that. Those times we used to use Amazing Slowdown or something like that. Yeah, you get it. And there are softwares that do that. If me, I used to do that way back. Right now, the songs have time no day to learn. Right. But you see, the good thing is, over time, you develop good senses that I don't have to listen to the record. Like, I don't have to sit down. When I hear chord qualities, I hear them. You understand? When you hear someone express a 13th or as added an extension, you hear the notes inside. That's what I'm saying. There is power in the ear. So if you work on your ear, it will solve a lot of problems for you. That, hey, Charlie, I don't understand what he played. It's because your ear is not there. It's not because you can't play it. Because the moment I show you this is what I did, you can actually perform better than me. You know that. You know there are people who do pieces, other people take it and tear it apart. The only reason why you could tear that piece apart is because you understood what the person played. If you didn't understand it, and you see, sometimes if we had given you the piece in the first place, you might not even express it that way. So you have to respect people who do original pieces. Yes, when you have the chance to do a cover of a piece and do it so well, it's not because you are champion. You understand? It's because you only understood what the person did. But maybe that you were given the chance, you wouldn't have put anything better down for someone to do a cover of. You need to have respect for those people. So, yes. So, you check. I try to listen to the very things I hear, not the very, because as for me, I know some things, right? Everybody knows things. So if I have to say, okay, this is what it is, this is what it is, then I'll be playing my mind. But for the purposes of learning and understanding and moving forward, because I get to learn something new in that piece that I didn't know if I learn it well. You get it? But if I go and I try to put what I know in it, I'm still replicating myself. And I'm still at the same level. Yeah. So I told this guy that, Jack, well, when you've done all these things, like taking time to and like go through the song to get this, now you play along the song, right? A couple of times, so that from the intro, you and the guy who is playing, it's as though you are the one playing in the song, right? I think most of us have been to that level before. But when you cross that level, now you need to put the song where off and go back to the stage where you were using your memory to play without the instrument. But now you have the instrument without the record. So when you see certain people perform so well, so play so good today, it's not because, I know there are a lot of great players, but you see, there are certain things about people you will never understand until they tell you. I know, right there, I think today is my reference, so. Because I just don't understand the nature of work he does, because he works with a lot of bands, yet he delivers on all of them. I met him recently at a rehearsal, and it was interesting. I thought I learned the songs, but Charlie, I got there. Now I was looking at his chart, because, yeah, so from the level of listening to the song all over, like listening to the song so much that you don't have to play the song to be able to sing what your instrument is doing. Now you get to now you start picturing the idea or whatever is happening in the song. You come to the song itself, find the key, check your shapes, check what you hear, try to replicate them. When you are done, you play along the music itself for a while. When you are done with for a while, put the music off. Then now, practice just the song with your own memory for a while. Now tell me, if I come and sit down, you see what the only bad thing about this is it makes you so plastic that I won't even know the lyrics of the song. Because when I come and sit there, from intro to my last note, I am performing. Do you understand the context something? Mine is a special performance because I've also calculated bars, notes, and everything. So whatever the singer is even singing, I have no idea about. When they miss the S, I'm still on course. But like I said, these things are peculiar to me. There are certain people, and what is a little, somewhat risky about this, when you're not lucky and you miss one note, it can destroy you for the rest of, yes. But that's why I'm saying you have to study the song to a level where it's part of you. You understand? So recovery for you will be very, very easy. So when you're able to play without the record, now even if you are asleep and they knock you, hey, play this song. It flows like that without no music inside what you are doing. And hey, go.